Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
Now next thing is integration field override. Basically, as of now, in integration field override, you are just defining the criteria. Now, let's say in this integration, when I created this integration, I have created, there is some specific requirement to generate, to send security keys for employees. All of you have created one security key field, calculated field. Now that calculated field is not present in this template. You want that calculated field value in this integration system output as well. In those cases, how exactly we will do that? Basically, this is your integration system. The requirement, whatever requirement you have got, you cannot fetch that field directly from this template, because in this data sections, whatever data sections you have selected, whatever data sections available in this template, that security field, that calculated field is not at all available. But your business is asking to send that field as well. How exactly we are going to do that? There comes integration field override again. What we generally do is you go to related action of the integration system. Come on. In integration system, configure integration services. Go to configure integration services again. Here I am just mentioning calculated fields or fields that are not available in template integration system. Configure integration services. Custom integration service. Click create new field, override service. What you need to do is here, I just clicked on configure integration services. In configure integration services, if you go in the town, then here you will find custom integration services. In custom integration services, click on this plus button. When you will click, today then it's super slow. When you click on plus, you will get one option here in integration service. You will get one text block here. In this text block, basically you need to create a new integration service. How will you create? You can click on this text block. Then you will get options. You will get option of create. Click on create, and in create you will see create integration field override service. You will see create integration field override service. Create integration field override service. Here give the name of field override service, Ganesh batch to CC view field override service business object worker. I need to fetch details from worker business object, calculated field from worker business object only. Here you just select worker. Then here you create multiple fields. For example, security key. What are the calculated fields we have created in the past? Do you remember any calculated field name? Let's see what I have given you. Let's say hire date plus 5 months. You have created hire date plus 5 months or difference of hire date between date of birth. All these fields you have created. Whatever fields you have created, or calculated field to get the length of the characters. Whatever fields you have created, you create a couple of fields. I'm just giving length of first name. Let's say hire date. Hire date. I'm just giving random names. Click on. When you will click on your field services or this field override, services is completed. Here you can see the field. Field override service has been created. Now click on. When you will click on, you will be able to see one custom integration service. One custom integration service. This is a field override service. Here you have just defined the label name of the field, but you have not configured the field which you want in the output file. You have just configured the field, like we configure field attributes. Here we will configure the field override service as well for the calculated fields or external fields. How can we do that? You go to related action, then integration system, and in add-in integration system, you will see configure integration field override service. Integration system configure integration field override. You just go to configure integration field override. Here earlier, you were able to see only one option that was defined eligibility, and you were defining eligibility. Now there is another service. You can see here the service which we have created just now, that is field override service. Just go to this field override service, and what you will see, whatever field you have given the name here, security, key length of first name, hire date, CA, whatever name I have given there, see all those fields have been created here. Now how exactly the security will get the value? Here you can create the calculated field. Here you can create calculated field. Let's say if there's any field which is CF security, something will use any bill. Security. Some of you have created a security key calculated. Will write some trying to fix that. Let's see if I get any. No field is matching, but you can create calculated fill here. Someone has created CF link. Basically, maybe another time you can try what. What I wanted to explain you here is if you want to add any calculated fill, any logic which is not there in the template, core connector worker template. And you can create that logic using calculated field. And you want to fetch that calculated value in the core connector worker integration template. Then how can you do that? You can create a one field override service. When you will create one field override service there, you can configure the fields. I have mentioned the steps here, then here I'm just mentioning create new integration field overrides here. Then you can just go to is. Config integration. Field override. Use calculated field. Or not present in template. Now I need to show you how that looks like. I'm just adding any calculated field. Any calculated field. I need to show you in output how it looks like. Let's say any calculated field. Like see, the problem is not with the calculated field. The problem is with this tenant. This is again I picked wrong field. This prompted. No worry. Hired it also we have created. Hired it. For hired it we have created couple of calculations. Right, hired it. See, I need to show you how exactly it looks like in output field. That's important. How will you identify whether this is a field, override details or calculated field? It is in output. I need to add this. No worry, I'll remove. Have failed it minus hired it. I'm just using formatted. Worker hired it. Someone has used any formatted. Then here, let me see if I have created any Caltech. I'm just using a constant field. Now I'm clicking on. Once you click on this, calculated bills will be configured in Field Override service. This is how we generally used to get calculated field values in core connector integrations. You will create a new custom integration service that is a field override service, and in that field override service, you will give the field name. This is the level name you will configure and in the Indian configure. Integration field override, you will configure the field. Now I'm launching this integration again. Oh, and this is another problem. Integration launch. Right now. I'm using again Jacqueline. And Logan McNeil, that integration won't take much time. Now this is visible. Let's take this one as well. And then let's take Logan McNeil. When you work, in one day Logan McNeil should be favorite person for you always. Whatever you're learning, don't teach with Logan McNeil. C is a super user. Now I have selected full file. I can do the delta file as well, but I have not made any changes in this employee details. If I run delta, I will not get anything. To pick all this, because in the delta file, basically I need to make changes. I need to update anything. This ever phone, a phone number, email address, personal data, anything, and then changes will be detected. To show you guys, I am running in full file mode at this point of time again. Click. It's running. Oh what? It's completed with what is the heater? No definition. I configured one pill which is not updated. Again, configure integration field override. I feel the right service. Let me keep lucky. I have configured this field. I will relaunch the integration. Why I will relaunch the integration? Because if I do not relaunch, I need to add those workers manually again, which I don't want to do. What I'll do is I'll relaunch. You can launch integration event as well. But here I'm relaunching. When I do the relaunch, then whatever I have last time, it will automatically come. Now click on. Let's see. This is taking time. That means it is processing. Otherwise, it will generate the errors. It's completed. Now if I see your put.x, here you will notice one thing. See, this is important, everyone. Here in this output.xml, you will see there is one tag attached here. That is deliverable. This deliverable tag means this is the main file which you are looking for. This is the main file which this integration has been created and which is having the data, and everywhere this file will be delivered. Whenever you configure any delivery, this file will be configured. These files will not be delivered. Now let me open the output file. Show you how it looks like. In this output file. Now basically we have created field override. All this fits will be already discussed. Whatever you have configured in the field attribute, you will be able to see based on your data section. And now the additional phase which I have created using calculated field unique field override service. That is something you will be able to see. One tag here. That tag name is additional information. Whatever you are able to see in this additional information, that is coming from field override service. That is coming from field override service, and whatever fields you are configuring in field override service, you will get the data respectively in those field attacks as well. This is how field override service data looks like in output file. For each worker, you will be able to see one tag that is additional information. This is not just a tag. This is one section in which you will see multiple tags. Those tags are nothing but the fields which you have configured. In this data, in this XML file, everything is separate. Everything is separate. As in, see, this is a one worker data. This is one worker data. If I just open this one worker data, see, this is just a summary. Then personal data sections are available in personal data. See, this is the personal data. Then the status data section, you have selected status data section is available in status data section. Then position you have selected, that is available in position section. You have selected compensate and data for each and every service you are selecting. There is one section here. These additional information section is for field override service. The custom integration services which you are configuring. This additional information is going to generate value for that custom integration services. That is why there is additional section. It is additional section. Basically, whatever data section you're selecting, for every data section, there is additional section. This makes things easier. Let's say in personal data, you're not getting one field or you're not able to understand something. You need to just go to personal data section and just select the additional information. Just check what fields you have selected, why that is not coming. And then you check worker profile whether the data is updated or not. That's how you're going to debug. You need to understand this XML file. How this XML file is representing the data. See the way you are configuring the integration. The same way this output file will be generated. This is Field Override service. I hope you're clear. This is one of the important service you're going to use in core connector integrations. After this, there is another service which we will be configuring. Here also you can configure. Not that one. Let me open. Oh, come on. In Configure Integration Services. From where this has. In Integration Services. There are a couple of more services which we need to explore. The one is File Name Sequence Generator, the another is Transaction Log Service. Let's go with the File Name Sequence Generator for some, enabling Configure Worker File Name Sequence Generator. Once I select a Worker File Name Sequence Generator service, click on. Here in Sequence Generator, you can configure again, like let's say sequence by one worker, this coder data underscore dddim y. Any template. We have already configured sequence in better in the past. You create this. Now, what is this alert? I have not used sequence. That's fine. I don't want to use sequence. Click on. You configure the sequence generator, then click on. Has been changed to worker underscore data.xml. This is how we can pick a sequence generator to configure sequence generator. First of all, you need to enable sequence generator service. That is something you will be able to do again using configure integration services. Just go to the integration system related action, Then configure integration services. There you enable integration sequence generator. When you will enable sequence and later click on, you will again go to integration system, the related action and integration system. And then you will see one option, configure integration sequence generator. There, whatever you will configure, that output .xm will be overridden by that sequence generator name. Now the next thing is transaction logs. Here the next is configured. Integration sequence generator optional, available only when you select. Sequence generator service. Now next we have is configure transaction logs. Before we talk about configured transaction logs, we need to talk about the transaction change detection, because transaction logs are important. When you talk about the change detection, we have already discussed couple of times in the past. Basically, core connector worker is capable enough to detect changes between two time frames. How exactly core connector detect changes between two time frames? Basically, for that, what you need to do is you need to pass last successful as of entry moment, last successful as of effective date, then as of entry moment and as of effective date. And you don't need to select full file. When you will select full file, always integration will run in full file mode. But if you want to run integration in change detection mode, then you don't select that full file. You simply run the integration by passing date parameters. How exactly we can do that? Basically here, if you go and launch integration, what you need to do is an integration system. What I was saying are launching the integration change detection. But when you launch the integration to run the integration in change detection mode, you should not be selecting the full file checkbox. Click on Run. In change detection, basically you would need not to select this checkbox. This full file checkbox should not be selected. If this is not selected, then automatically integration run. Integration will run in change detection mode. Change detection mode means whatever transaction that is happening between these time frames. We have not updated any worker detail. Basically, when you will run this integration, change detection mode, you will not find any worker details. The reason is simple. There is no change happening right now. Let's change something in one of the workers. I'm just cancelling this. Then let's go to some user's profile. Let's go to Logan McNeil. And change her contact number. Change your contact. Change your contact. Still contact. For contact. This is this tenant problem, guys. Don't think like this is going to happen in each and every tenant. This is distant and problem. Whatever user I'm selecting, I'm trying to update something. It's not allowing me to update. This is the problem of this tenant. Let's see any little if. Let us use John again. Let us try to update something else. Now this time, let's update name. Legal name. Let's update preferred name. Given nameless, let me add my name. I have in family name. Also let me update batch. Sub. Now the name has been updated. I have updated name of one person. When I update the name of this person, then this one action will come in the worker profile, where this one action will come. Let's see. The name has been changed. The name doesn't look good, but no worries. Let me open this worker profile. Whenever you do any transaction in Workday, all those transactions will be tracked in. What is happening? All the transactions will be tracked in worker history. Let me open this worker profile. This one is a recruiter. Now go to job. In job, go to worker history. I need whatever transaction you will do in the worker profile, all those transactions will be tracked here. All those transactions will be there in the worker history. Now this is the change detection. Now if I run the integration in change detection mode, this worker should be picked up. Let me run this integration in change detection mode now. Click. So 2 am. Those transactions will be picked up. If you go to worker history, the transaction has been entered on 6/29. This transaction entered time. It's coming in between these two time frames. This worker should be picked up. Let's see. I have not configured any worker. I have not hard-coded any worker here. I have just given the 2 time frame. Let's see how much worker we will get in the output file. The reason is I just comparing the data. And the effective date is today or whatever transaction that has been entered with past effective date in last half an hour. All those transactions will be picked up. Now this is successfully completed. Let's go to the actual files. That's why we don't have change detection. Let's see why no worker has been selected. You want. Where is the integration? Integration attribute is preferred and legal preferred name types. What else I can change? Let me try to change it once again. The contact details. Who has configured like this? I mean, that's not around. Who may calculate me trying to change the legal name. this person is having the name change, approval for Jacqueline. What I'll do is I'll just approve. By taking the proxy, that should be C of sends request. Then there should be some name change. Legal name Jen Jacqueline. See work schedule calendar. These are the actually. Who is having those transactions? Subscribe to all business process means whatever business process transactions are happening in worker profile. All those transactions will be picked up. Here if I need to subscribe, for example, hire. Hire data checkpoint event light. See work schedule calendar change, work schedule calendar change. Then assign work schedule. There could be many business process types. If you want only relevant transaction types to be picked up in change detection, you need to enable transaction log service. Once you enable the transaction log service, then you need to select fill override default values. And there you can mention what are all the transactions you want this integration to be picked up during change detection. This is what I wanted to explain you. You can try a couple of things. Maybe you can try subscribe to all business process. What do you do when you run the change detection mode? You try to change the data, then you configure the transaction log service. There you specify any transactions. Any specific type of transaction, try to do that. I'm not sure. You're not able to do those transactions. You don't know how to hire people in Workday and all. Those are functional things. No worry. Anyways, I showed you how to change the contact number. How can you change the preferred name and all? Maybe you can try that thing and try to get data of those workers in a change detection file. Just remember, change detection will detect all the transaction which is entered in the worker profile. If you want any specific transaction to be picked up in change detection, you enable transaction logs. You configure transaction logs whatever transactions you want to pick up in that change detection. That is what transaction logs. We'll try to show you tomorrow. Let's see. I'm not sure how tenant will be tomorrow, but we'll try to show you tomorrow. You can just practice more in core connector worker integration. There are a couple of services which I have explained. Core connector integration field override service and sequence generator service and transaction log service. You just enable the services in your core connector integration as well. Try to practice a bit. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.